welcome back once again. Before the break, Brother Praise was telling us the exact words he used that made his wife brain turn and turn to his side. Okay, so Brother Praise, what were your exact words? Don't tell us boss again. Tell us what you said in your bed.
Oh, my exact words
yes,
in my bed.
Bed.
Worse. I can't really remember everything, but I know I still remember some of it. Was hello, how are you?
You want to demonstrate?
Okay. I want us to go out together, and I think I like you. Then can we do something together? Create a magic together.
Create magic.
She said okay.
Magic Mike.
Where can we meet? Then we actually scheduled dates. Then took it up from there.
Wow. And he just celebrated his fifth wedding anniversary. Yes. I mean, it's not easy. One person for 5 years.
That's good.
High five.
Thank you.
Tell us, how were you toasted?
Oh, well, I was being monitored for like, I don't know, maybe 3-4 months. I didn't even know that somebody like that existed. Seriously.
Wow.
And one day, he decided to come out of
hiding
and then let me know that someone like this is actually existing. And practically he told me about my life for the past how many months.
What?
When I leave the house, when I come back, where I go to.
He was actually stalking you.
Yes, he's a stalker. A lover stalker.
And I was like, wow, really? Somebody has so much time to actually go for what he's looking for.
I'm sure as a lady that got your attention.
Yes, actually, it swept me off my feet because this is not just normal. It's not for someone just see and say, oh, I like you, I think you're beautiful and all of that. Those lines are like normal lines that we hear. So I was like, okay. And like, okay, can we get to sit down one place and have a drink or let's talk? So from there,
the rest is history.
The rest is history, yeah.
As we always say, I'm the only single person. Yeah, I'm single and sashi. Anyways, well, we're talking about dating now and the days of our parents. So let me ask you guys, what would you say are the advantages of dating back then and the disadvantages? Let's now relate them to the kind of dating we have right now, because people don't even really date. In my opinion, people don't really date because this OAP N6 said, what's the stress about? He prefers sex on the first date than having to go on and on for 6 months, and then after 6 months you now try out the person and you discover that the sex wasn't good. So it means you've wasted like 6 months.
So his opinion about that is just sex.
Exactly.
That's his own opinion. That's not dating. That's his opinion anyway, and he has the right to his opinion.
Right now.
But this is what I'm going to say. Two things to differentiate dating back then and now. Okay, back then, when it has to do with your parents trying to matchmake you guys together, matchmaking them, not us now. Okay.
I wouldn't mind a matchmaking though. Somebody
back then,
rich.
I think it has some advantage. Yes, it does. And these were the kind of advantage it has is that, number one, if your parent kind of matchmake you and a particular guy in a family together, number one, you get to understand that you know where you're going to, because of course your parents won't see a ditch and allow you to fall into it, except for parents that are selfish, maybe for their own selfish interest. But then, back then, most times, apart from what they stand to gain, of course, they want the well-being of their own child as well. So they won't see a bad place for you on ground and ask you to go there and marry. So I think the advantage it has was that you know where you're going to. You know the kind of family you're going to. Not only your parents know the kind of family you're going to. There's a plan for you guys and all of that. Now, most times, talking about this new age now, everything has to do with you guys, the couple now. Your parents will monitor you. Your parents won't, they're not in the picture. Now, it has to do
he's the guy that will go and find the girl by himself.
Yes, it has to do with both of you. Oh, okay, do you have a future plan? What do you intend to do with your life in XYZ years? What do you intend to achieve? It now the game balls on both of you now, not the society, not even your parents. So I think the advantage it has is, if you guys really know what you're doing, of course you will scale through. except for those that just want to fling around, have fun, and like the guy already said that he sees dating as, you know, having to want sex and all of that. But if you really want to make good thing out of dating, you can. You can plan ahead. You can.
Did you have you and your wife? Was it when after your marriage that you guys had sex?
Yes.
After marriage?
Yes.
How long did you date?
Okay, we courted. No, we didn't
Okay,
date.
it was courting. You guys courted
We
for how
courted
long?
for 6 months.
6 months. Was it
Yes.
the church directive or you
No,
guys
not.
personally
It
wanted
wasn't
to
the
do
church
that? Because
directive.
these days it's actually church that directs a whole lot of
No.
these
It wasn't the church directive.
things.
It was just our own. How do I put it now?
Your
Our
own
own
prerogative to do that.
agreement between both of us
Okay.
that okay, we are doing this for XYZ month, then we make it official.
Yeah.
Okay, so we make it was just 6 months, and we make it official.
So it means you even imbibed the dating of back in the days, because then there was nothing like sex. It was just okay, both of you meet and then your parents know, and then whenever you want to come and see the girl, men then usually brought something to the house.
Yes.
But let's also put at the back of our mind. Let's not just paint dating now as though everybody actually just have sex before marriage. It's not everybody.
It's not everybody.
not.
It's
Some,
not. It's
some,
not.
some. Okay, but I want to give my own I want to give my own overview of dating back in the days and now. Okay, so what I'm going to say is that the advantage that dating back in the day has is that you would end up being in your husband's house, or the man will end up being with his wife, okay, with what your parents have seen and all of that. So you will not end up like maybe going for Mr. A, B, C, and at the end of the day nothing is happening. You still keep on running as a single lady without any vision. Okay, but the disadvantage there is that the emotional aspect of dating or relationship or
Back
courtship
then?
is not there.
Yeah.
Back then won't
Yeah,
be
it's
there.
not.
Okay, because we can't remove that part from courting.
Yeah.
That emotional balance have to be there. So if you're not with a man that you don't have an emotional balance with,
Yeah.
it will bring a lot of problem,
Yeah.
strife in your and I just think the only thing that made their marriages actually last longer than it lasts now is just because of fear.
Fear. Okay.
Okay, they don't want to be that woman that left her husband's house and came
Yeah.
back to her father's house. You be the laughing stock of the village, or maybe whatever thing that they've tied to the marriage, they don't
Yeah.
want that ties to be broken,
broken.
and maybe their parents will now bear the consequences and all of that. But dating dating now, the advantage it has is that it gives you the opportunity to actually get to know the person you want to be with thoroughly.
Yeah.
You know what you like, you know what you don't like, and I'm sure that you would want to get it in somebody that you want to see those things that you like in someone.
Of course.
And then you go for it.
Definitely.
The only thing is that the dating now is that we should be more defined on what we want.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
actually
From
Be
the
clear
beginning.
purpose
we
Yeah.
should
from
be
the
define
beginning.
what we want, because I've noticed that when we don't actually call a name to what you're doing, it gives opportunity for anything to happen.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Gives opportunity for anything to happen. So let us try and at least call a name to what we are doing and then run with it. And as so time, because you cannot date forever.
Forever. Some people
At
date for
time-
5 years, and at the end of the day, they don't
that-
even
that-
end up
that's
as
the
husband and
mistake.
wife.
That's the
Of
mistake
course.
a lot of us have made.
Yeah.
Okay, so for folks that are still coming up and still trying to make these life decisions or dating to turn into relationship, I feel like they should actually call a name to something. And before you can actually date someone, there should be some green lights that you should actually see.
Of course.
You can't just go and date a random person just because you want to answer that, oh, I have a man. Because most people, they can't answer single ladies. So.
Yes.
Of course,
Like,
there's-
just
there
end
should
up-
be
most of us
something you
end
see.
up with the people we don't even
Yes,
want.
it's like a
but-
taboo because you
but
don't
just
want
for
to.
some reason, you
They
know.
want to just if your friend is saying, oh, my man, or you want to also say
I have a
I
man.
have a
guy.
man, I have a
Yeah.
guy, and all of that. So that misconception we should actually change.
Yeah.
So that's my opinion about dating now and
All right, so they have said it all. Like, I mean, dating back in our parents' days, there was a lot of emotional mishaps, but these people still stayed in their marriages, they still stayed in these relationships. I mean, irregardless or irrespective of whatever is going on, they stayed in their marriage. But in our world of today, this generation, hey, that we have tasted so many things that is very sweet. We don't even want to, settle. Some of us just even want to just, be free, gallivant the whole place. But that's actually not what dating really is about. If we are calling it a name, which is dating, you should actually date And dating is, getting to know each other if you've been in a relationship or not. So if you're going out on a date and giving a word of today, back then it was supervised, but now these days when you're in the university, your parents are not even supervising you, they're not even there to even know what you're doing. So you should use your discretion and your conscience, your moral conscience, to actually know that, okay, this is for a reason. I'm going out to date this person for a reason, probably to end up marrying the person or not. But you have to always get it defined, like Sandra has said, always define it from the beginning, so you don't end up dating the whole world and still not ending up with anybody. That's how these things work. So that's the much you can take today. So but be careful out there. If you're going out on a date with somebody, you can always tell somebody else that, okay, well, I'm going out with Mr. So and so that you're safe at the end of the day. Because with what is happening now, kidnaps and everything, even there's so many girls they've used for money rituals and all of that. That's actually why I wanted to talk about this. So if you're going out on a date with somebody, tell somebody else, just in case, so that you're safe. You understand? So that's how this things work. Because our word of today is no longer as it used to be back then. Back then, your parents, if you're going out with Mr. Okonkwo's daughter or Mr. Okonkwo's son, your parents already know where you're going to. Can't we even really bring those days back? If you ask me, I think it should be brought back. But then again, our parents will now supervise us, will no longer taste the good sense. So thank you, Praise.
Thank you.
Thank you, Praise, for coming, and thank you, Sandra, for coming on the show.
And
by the way, Sandra, this is her, her rooftop. She's the one hosting us today. How we always will be looking for people that host us. So if you want to host us in your house, maybe you have a very nice, rooftop or balcony or bar you want us to use next time, just tell us. We can come over there, but just make sure that the wine is cold, just like today's wine is cold. So that's the much you can take on today's show. You know how I always do every Friday, I tell you to take it down, take a glass of wine, take a bottle of wine, anything that is chill that can steal your boat. It's Friday, how hard can it be? All right, so people of God, I will say cheers to Friday.
Cheers to Friday.
Cheers.
Woo!